Mr. Cheung Shi-kan, now the meeting resumes. Please point out which rule shows that I have the discretion. The chairman may agree to accept late membership on grounds of indisposition or absence from Hong Kong. A request for late membership on grounds other than indisposition or absence from Hong Kong should be put to the subcommittee. The subcommittee shall accept such applications only when sufficient grounds have been provided. As for the grounds, whether they are sufficient or not, is to be decided by all. You are the chairman. You can also think that the grounds are sufficient. You can decide whether the grounds are sufficient or not. Now, do you think the grounds are not sufficient, Chairman? Mr. Cheung Shi-kan, I want to ask you, now after reading out aloud 4B, do you still insist that I, as the chairman, have the discretion? Because if the grounds are sufficient, then no voting will be needed. Well, let us do this step by step. Answer my questions. It would be easier. Question number one. Question number one for you. Now, do you still insist that I, as the chairman, in accordance with Rule 4B, have a discretion concerning the 14 or the 12 late applications? The late applicants have already put forward very sufficient grounds. If you think such grounds are not sufficient, of course, you don't have the discretion. If you think the grounds are sufficient, then you have the discretion. You decide. I would like to put to you that, according to my understanding of 4B, the chairman does not have such a discretion. The discretion can only be exercised under two circumstances. First, the member is indisposed or he is absent from Hong Kong. You just read out 4B. And in the middle of line 3, there is a full stop. Do you see that? Mr. Cheung Shi-kan, I do not have the responsibility to convince you, because as the chairman, I can make a ruling. However, as I respect you, that's why I want to convince you. I have finished what I want to say. Do you still insist on your view? I said just now, as the chairman, you have the discretion and you can make a ruling. You said just now you can make a ruling, and you don't want to make a ruling, so it's up to you. Members, I do not want to continue to debate with Cheung Shi-kan. I cannot convince him, and there is no need to convince him, and he does not accept my act of trying to convince him because I respect him. Then now I rule that, well, according to 4B, I do not have the discretion concerning the 12 late applications. So you have to look at 4B. After listening to the grounds of the applicants, and if you think the grounds are sufficient, then the applications will be accepted. This is my ruling. Ms. Claudia Mo, do you want to jump the queue? No, I'm not jumping the queue. I do not know whether this is a point of order. Yes, I can rule. Just now you made a self-ruling, and that makes me a bit worried. You ruled that you do not have the discretion, but Cheung Shi-kan said that you have the right to rule. I think discretion and the right to make a ruling are different. Do you want to make a self-ruling again? I think I made myself very clear just now, and I think that is reflected very clearly in our meetings recording. Thank you for your reminder. Next, Mr. Ip Kwan-yuen. Chairman, thank you for shouting out my name. That's due to my respect for you. I have been in this council for 2 years. When I first joined, I was taken aback because I found that there were a lot of conflicts and confrontations in the council, and that's not normal. I have visited other countries' parliaments lately, and well, of course, they also have the majority parties, minority parties. They also had inter-party cooperations. They stress a lot on inter-party cooperations. So no matter whether you belong to a majority party or a minority party, if you want the council or the parliament to work on a long-term basis in a dignified manner, you have to respect certain rules and practices. Now, if you are the majority party and then you take up all the chairmanships and then you amend the rules of procedures, that is detrimental to the long-term cooperation among parties. So if you are in the majority, you need to be accommodating, because one day you may become a member of the minority. Just now, Mr. Albert Ho said something very well, and he said that now we have to handle these 12 applications. They actually want to join because they want to vote to the government, and then they would monopolize the subcommittee. If we want to maintain a good system, we need to abide by the rules. I think we need to discuss in a more peaceful manner.
I don't think we can resolve the problem with our political relationship. So I suggest that the chair would try his best to deal with the problem according to the mechanism and the rules of procedures, and then outside the mechanism we should try to find ways to resort to a peaceful way to deal with our relationship. Mr. Yip Kin-yuen, if you have got any suggestions that are operationable, I will be glad to follow your advice. I suggest that you just follow the rules as to whether the discussion should be a matter of joint debate or we deal with the applications one by one. It doesn't matter. I think for Paul Chair has come personally. I think we can deal with his application as a priority. For others, we can sort of deal with them later. Well, I very much hope that we can deal with the applications today, but then we've only got half an hour left. 4 members would like to speak for the second time. Try to be conscious of the time limit. 1 more, in fact. Sid Ho as well. Who else? It doesn't matter. 6. So bear in mind time management, please. For members who are going to speak, of course I need to respect your right to speak, but please also give me some assistance. Just now, some of you have said that perhaps we should give them more opportunities to speak. Now, some of them, now I quote from you, some of you have said that some members have shifted the blame to their assistants, and you would like them to tell us something which is closer to the truth. I don't quite understand what you want. Our clerk has already informed such applicants that we are having a meeting today. Invitation has been extended to them. 7 has turned down the invitation. 4 out of 5 told us a few days ago that they would not be coming. Of course, we've got Mr. Paul Chair here, And then on the 7th of November, 7th of November was the deadline to provide supplementary information. They were aware of it. So if you say that we should give them more opportunities to explain their position, do you want me to be rejected again? Please give me your assistance. So please say clearly as to whether I should deal with the applications from the 12 members one by one, vote on them one by one, or whether you would like to deal with them once and for all on block. So when you speak for the second time, please try to indicate your position. Otherwise, even after you have spoken, I'm still not sure what you want, then I will be rather unclear about as to what should be done. Lee Cheuk-yin, life is difficult for you. No, it's my honor. Mr. Chung Shu-kan said that you were a hypocrite. I think a mean person speaks in this way. I don't mind, Mr. Lee Cheuk-yin. I think it's difficult for you to have to explain matters to someone who has a poor ability to understand. Sorry, speaker is off mic. Mr. Chung Shu-kan. You think that he has offended you? Which word? He talks about somebody of low ability. Can we start to speak in such a fashion? Well, according to this logic, he should have withdrawn his accusation of you of being a hypocrite. And also, this is a fair comment from me. The two gentlemen allow me to chair the meeting. First of all, Lee Cheuk-yin, I'm most grateful to you for your concern for me. As I have said, Mr. Chung Shu-kan mentioned my name and he used the word hypocrite. I don't quite mind, and I have expected such. So I've dealt with the first part. As to the second part, Mr. Lee Cheuk-yin, just now when you spoke, you did say that Chung Shu-kan's ability is low. His ability to understand is low. Now, if Christopher Chung thinks that it is an offensive remark, so Mr. Chung, Mr. Lee, are you willing to withdraw the remark after I have ruled, or are you willing to rephrase what you would like to say? Well, let's not have an argument over this point. I think I was merely making a very objective remark. But then if Mr. Chung would like to drag me into this, I don't want to do so. So I would like to withdraw my remark. Thank you. Let me talk about how we should go about the procedure, because that's what you asked us to talk about. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Paul Chair for his sincerity. At least he is willing to come forward to explain the matter. I think the key words today are sufficient grounds. Let me say this again. Chair, you made the right ruling. You don't have the discretion. It's up to the whole subcommittee to decide whether there is a sufficient ground. So we should judge according to the facts to find out whether there is a sufficient ground. Now, Mr. Paul Chair has come and spoken about his case, so I think we can judge on whether he has got a sufficient ground and use that as the basis for accepting or not accepting his application. For those who haven't turned up, 8 of them have said that it's due to an omission on the part of their assistants. I suggest to you that you should write to them to explain the matter. Now, I think there was this program on Now TV. If you like to replay the recording, I can do so. Now, Tam Yu-chung and I appeared on the program, and Tam Yu-chung told us about gave us an account. They put in the name list, and in the last 5 minutes, they found that a lot of us are joining. According to, I think Mr. Tam was sort of, if Mr. Tam was telling the truth, then it's not a matter of the assistants who had committed an omission. For those who have cited the ground being that it was an omission from the assistants, then please rectify the record by telling us that it was indeed it was indeed more like what Mr. Tam had said. And then for others who insist that it's their assistants who have omitted it, then please tell us on which day they have decided to join, but the assistants have failed to do so. I think to me it's a matter of they trying to remedy. So if assistants are really to be blamed, please name a date, and then that's for the 8 members. For others, they said that they were otherwise engaged. I think such members should tell us why they were prevented from doing so. You can't simply say that you are busy and you were busy and you couldn't join in time. I don't know whether Paul Chair is the member who said that PTSD business is important. For the 11 members, please write to them, ask them to give you another letter telling us about their grounds. I don't know whether the PTSD can invite such members to appear again. Even if they don't intend to come, I think they're duty-bound to answer the questions that I've raised, and they should give us supplementary information. So I suggest that we don't deal with the applications from those 11 members. Rather, they should be asked to give additional information. And for today, we just deal with Paul Chair's application. Now, for Lee Cheuk-yin's point, let me clarify this point, and that would facilitate members who speak after him, and then you can provide us with more assistance. Lee Cheuk-yin is saying that Paul Chair has come, and so we should deal with his application first. As to the 8 members, you referred to a Now TV program, and you talked about Tam Yu-chung's statement on the program. I think we need to follow up with this. You said that for some members, they said that they were otherwise engaged. Now you say that I should write to them, ask them for what reason they have not been able to come and apply in time. I think it will be futile because they have been invited to come and they were given the deadline of the 7th of November to provide supplementary information. So even if I write to them again, I'm afraid that I would just be rejected once more. Now, for the 8 members, if you heard that Tam Yu-chung has given an account of the facts, and you are saying that on the face of it, for the 8 members who blamed it on the assistants weren't really citing the genuine reason. I don't think we can just rely on your quote of Tam Yu-chung and come to the decision that they're not telling the truth. On the contrary, I think we should give them the opportunity to explain as to whether Tam Yu-chung spoke on their behalf. If we provide another opportunity to these 8 members, and since we can't finish the matter today, then we may as well give the second chance to the other 3 members as well. I want to tell you what I think because a few members are queuing up to speak. So when you do speak for the second time, please address what I have just said. But please be aware of the time available. It is already 12:27. Anne Zhang and then Chen Kin-po. Thank you, Chairman. Just now, Christopher Chung said that you had a discretion. Let me not dwell on this point, but I'm very clear. You in the past did refrain from exercise your discretion. At a public hearing in December 2013, I did suggest that we should pay a such visit to the public markets together with the departmental staff. On the 28th of May, we were supposed to have a such visit. Ms. Zhang, can I ask you what you are going to say? Is it relevant to the item of the PTC? Well, just now a member accused you of being a hypocrite. You were most unhappy. So you want to prove that I'm a hypocrite. I'm not going to comment on it. If you try to speak at the same time that I'm speaking, we can't proceed. Do you want to provide evidence to prove that I am indeed a hypocrite? If you want to do this, I'll give you the floor. Please answer my question. To answer your question, if you had in the past refrained from exercising your discretion, and then there was a visit organized by me and you adamantly refused to let me go about it, I don't quite understand what you are saying. I think you try to come up with evidence to prove that I'm a hypocrite. Is that my understanding? If you say yes, then I'll give the floor to you, because I think that this is relevant. If not, please shut up. As to whether you're a hypocrite, I dare not comment. If you don't want to comment on that, what is the relevance of what you're going to say? So you are not going to prove that with evidence. No, I want to drop. I don't want to talk about the question of being a hypocrite. Just now, many members have talked about the case of members who couldn't apply in time.
And they say that it's the assistant's fault. And you say this is not right because it's their own fault. It's not their assistant's fault. And I can only speak on behalf of our members of DAB. Well, the assistants have made a mistake. What is the mistake? It is because of the sneaky behavior of some of your members, because half of the members should come from you and half of the members should come from our camp. And 1 hour before the deadline, we checked that half of your members joined, and we told our assistants that if all of you sign up, then all of us would also sign up. That's very clear. But you were very sneaky. You just 5 minutes before the deadline, you sign up. So that's what I mean by being sneaky. And the assistants were late in checking. What's your question, Ms. Claudia Mo? I think the word sneaky is offensive to all the pan-democrats here. So what do you want to do? So I want the speaker to retract the word sneaky. Ms. Chang, you want me to continue my speech or what? I want you to respond to Ms. Claudia Mo, because she says that when you made your speech, you used the word sneaky. She thinks it's an offensive word. Would you consider retracting it? Otherwise, I will have to make a ruling, and then I'll see how you respond to my ruling. So now I'm giving you an opportunity. It's just like the opportunity I gave to Mr. Lee Chuk-yin. Thank you, Chairman. When I spoke, I didn't say Ms. Claudia Mo was sneaky or she regards herself as sneaky. She would have to decide whether she is sneaky herself. Chairman, she made it very clear that the pan-democrats and their assistants were sneaky. So I think this is offensive and unfair to all the pan-democrats and their assistants. I think the most sneaky members are those from the opposite camp. I don't want to spend too much time on handling this point of order. So I would like to ask you, Ms. Mo. Now, Ms. Cheung spoke, and as far as I understand, she didn't mean to offend anyone. Would you accept this explanation? Well, Chairman, if that is the case, well, actually, if she admits that she sneakily accused other people of being sneaky, then that would be okay. Chairman. Let's not dwell on this. I think we all are very clear about what's going on. I would like to clarify. I mean, some of the members who are sitting here, I am not pointing my fingers to Pan Democrats or Ms. Claudia Mo. You are just making your own assumptions. Well, Mr. Chen Kim-po, well, many people mention my name, so I want to speak. Now, no matter how you dislike the formation of the Legislative Council as stipulated in a basic law, it is the way it is. There are still FCs and GCs. Before any change to the basic law, we have to respect the fact. Now you have to understand that the pro-establishment camp is the majority in the council. I am not authorized by the 12 lay applicants to speak. But I want to say this, as many members have also said it just now, because the Pan Democrats were making a sneaky attack, so that destroys the tacit agreements that we used to have. So no matter what grounds the late applicants put forward, we all understand that there are political reasons. Now, this 12 members want to apply to join the PWSC. This is just the beginning of this legislative year. It's different from Mr. Albert Chan's case. He applied in June last year, and he also made it clear that he joined PWSC for filibustering. So I hope that we can vote soon. And for members who put forward the same reasons, you can handle them in a batch. I don't want the chairman to ask them to write letters again. They have made the positions very clear. Mr. Low Wai-kwong and then Ms. Claudia Mo. Mr. Low. Just now, Mr. Gary Fan said that when I was the chairman of the PWSC, he thought that I handled things unfairly, but I need to clarify. He cited an example. I clarified just now that it had nothing to do with the PWSC. He talked about the WhatsApp message. Actually, that was about the environmental affairs panel meeting. We set up a chat group for better communication. And I reminded in the chat group that members with similar views as I did as to how to vote. And that has nothing to do with my chairmanship of the PWSC. When I was the chairman of the PWSC, I believed my duty was to conduct the meeting in an orderly and proper manner. So I want to clarify this. I regret that Mr. Gary Fan twisted the fact, and that's very unfair to me. I think many members of the public have seen this. So I need to make this clarification. As a member of the EA panel, of course, I need to express my views concerning matters discussed at the EA panel meetings. But as the chairman of the PWSC, my role was to chair meetings. These two roles should not be mixed. Now, back to this issue, Chairman. Just now, I listened very carefully to the chairman, also some other members. Some members say that the late applicants should be invited again to join the meeting or to rewrite their letters. And the chairman says that those late applicants would definitely refuse to do so. So he doesn't want to do that. I think for those members, if they have views to express, they would have already expressed their views in the letters. They have the reasons for choosing not to attend this special meeting. So I think we should not dwell on this. As I said in the first round, in this legislative year, the PWSC has a lot to do. And now so many members want to join this subcommittee. I think this is something good. So I think the chairman should handle this late application as soon as possible. If members do not agree to the late application, they can vote them down. I don't think the subcommittee should spend too much time on this. Yes, this is a very good opinion. My clock shows that it's 12:39, and this meeting is supposed to end at 12:45, so we still have 6 minutes left. And I would like to ask members, now the PWSC is a bit special. Do you agree that we extend the meeting by 15 minutes? Well, show me what you think. For those who agree to an extension, please raise your hand. Will there be any voting today? We still have 5 members who want to ask questions in the second round. Well, if you do not want to extend the meeting, what should I do? Okay, let us do this one by one. First, for those who agree that the meeting be extended to 1 p.m., please raise your hands. 5. For those who say no, please raise your hands. 5 yes, 8 no, so my hands are tied. We have to end the meeting by 12:45. We just have 5 minutes left. We still have Claudia Mo, Sid Ho, James To, Albert Ho, and Ip Kwok-kin who have indicated that they want to speak. Can I give you each 1 minute? You don't want to do that. Mr. Ip, what? Mr. To, a point of order. Chairman, well, we still have a lot to discuss. I suggest that we hold another special meeting so that we can make ourselves clear. And for what Mr. Chung said, he said that you have a discretion. That's actually a very important point. If you do have a discretion, then the whole consideration may be different. Please listen to me, Chairman. I know you believe you don't have a discretion. I initially agreed with you, but Mr. Chung is very insistent. So I suggest that our legal advisor and clerk look into it, and a paper be written so that we can discuss in details next time. Maybe I would agree with Mr. Chung. After all, if the chairman really has the discretion, things may be different. Then the 12 applicants should actually apply to you. I am humble enough to listen to the advice of the legal advisor. So I would adopt your suggestion. But it's not because we need to seek legal advice. That's why we are lengthening the meeting. We have to lengthen the meeting anyway, so I I'm going to seek legal advice as well. Now it's 12:42. Ms. Claudia Mo and other members are still waiting in the queue. So I think another meeting is unavoidable. But I will definitely not take up the time of the regular meeting of PWSC. So I'm sorry we have to hold another special meeting. And before that, I would like to ask Mr. Lee Chuk-yin, just now you mentioned a Now TV program. I will ask the Secretariat to write a letter quoting what you said just now. Well, there are 8 members who say that this is because of their assistance, and 3 cited other reasons. So I would like to ask them whether what's said in the program is representative of what they said. And I would like to apologize to Mr. Paul Chair because of the progress of today's meeting, we are unable to handle your application. But as the chairman, I can promise you this. At the next meeting, we will be handling your application first. Mr. Lee Chuk-yin, in the letter, you can also include what Ms. N. Chang says. She says that for that oversight, it's not a technical oversight, it's a strategic oversight. Well, does her remarks also represent the positions of other members? The clerk understands and she will handle it. 12:45 will adjourn the meeting. Thank you.